The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus told his disciples this parable. A man going on a journey called in his servants and entrusted his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to a third 1, to a third 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. Immediately the one who received 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5. Likewise, the one who received 2 made another 2. But the man who received 1 went off and dug a hole in the ground and buried his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants came back and settled accounts with them. The one who had received 5 talents came forward, bringing the additional 5. He said, "Master, you gave me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received 2 talents also came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more." His master said to him, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Come, share your master's joy." Then the one who had received the 1 talent came forward and said, "Master, I knew you were a demanding person, harvesting where you did not plant, gathering where you did not scatter. So, out of fear, I went off and buried your talent in the ground. Here it is back." His master said to him in reply, "You wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I did not plant, and gather where I did not scatter? Should you not then have put my money in the bank, so that I could have got it back with interest on my return? Now then, take the talent from him and give it to the one with 10. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will grow rich. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And throw this useless servant into the darkness outside, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Good morning. Today we have a first reading that will make a connection with the gospel related to the increase of what matters for the kingdom of heaven, and that is love. The Apostle Paul, talking to the Thessalonians, he is pointing out to them that he has realized the love that they have for each other, but he's also asking in that reading, increase it. Don't consider that it is enough just because you already love in some measure. No, there has to be more and more and more, and it can increase. With the gospel, then, we will understand, if we realize what are the figures of those talents, to understand in life what matters. And in that parable that comes out of the lips of Jesus, there's the teaching of what he's expecting for us, for all of us in life. The talents, they are not only the capacities that you have. You're intelligent, you're good with numbers, you're good with cooking, you're good with driving, you're good making money. Maybe you inherit actually a lot of money, you have a lot of terrains. Yes, those are things that God can provide and that you have. And yes, you have to use them and multiply it, and they are talents. But in the background of all the talents, there's the capacity that God will measure. And it is, if God is love and he created all in his love, he wants you to be like him. You remember the commandment of the Lord telling that he desires that we are perfect like the Father that is in heaven. It also comes from the lips of the Lord. He's expecting that. What is the perfection then? The perfection that he's expecting, it is in the use of powers, like being like God? No. Being like him, it is in the capacity to love. We're not to replace God with powers. We can't. It is instead being members of his family to love like he loved. And that is the way that the talents, they are multiplied. Because think like this. You are, for example, good with business, and you make an entire life of business. But out of love, what is Paul telling you in the 1st of Corinthians 13 chapter? If you do all that with love, it serves for nothing. You will arrive to the Lord with one talent that was not multiplied. And I'm afraid, Lord, because I know that you are demanding. What is then the real demanding in this life? What it's like to be a true hero in this world? This is a world that gets complicated by the minute. And it is the lack of capacity to trust the other, to know that the other can change, that the other deserves to be loved. Why? Because God is already loving him. That is the true multiplication. And that one, yes, it's painful, but it opens the multiplication of God in our lives. And it also opens the phrase that the Lord is telling in that gospel. He says, enter to your master's joy. I gave you 5, you bring 5 more. The true multiplication. At the end, and we are very wise in that, what are we taking from this world? According to the apostles, we are taking up back to God in our personal judgment. We will take the good deeds and the love that we shared. Nothing else. Nothing else. There's no U-Haul heading back up there. You see, my friend? So this is a talent that it has a figures, but it becomes very easy to understand. Now, I will say, don't stop just by understanding that, but more like realize what has God given you that you could call talents, and then in this way of talking, learn how to use that in a way that it's lovable, that you love with that talent that God is giving you. And you'll see in the phrases of St. Augustine, he has one that resumes life in a very easy way. He says, love and do whatever you want. You like that one? It is from St. Augustine. It says, love, come on people, do whatever you want. You will not fail. Love doesn't fail. Love, and you will do whatever you want.